What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz podcast. We're about to recap week 14 of the NFL slate, and it was a wild, wild slate this weekend. As always, go down, like, and subscribe. Let us know what you thought of the weekend. If you hit some big bets or lost some big bets, let us hear them. I'm Paul, pick a one of content. I'm joined with.
You already know, man. It's that boy Kev, Water Boy's the boy, aka the Don PYE. But there is no good news this week, Paul. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is probably my worst picking week ever. Every game I'm looking like, bro, how the fuck did they lose? How did they lose? Why are they losing right now? What the fuck is going on right now? Why the hell does fucking Zach Wilson have 300 yards? Like, this was a very, this was a, I didn't want to use the word interesting because I feel like I'm going to use that all day. So I pulled up on my handy dandy thesaurus synonyms for the word interesting. This was a fascinating week, an intriguing week, a riveting week,
It was
a engrossing week, and we're gonna end at a stimulating week for me when it comes to football.
yeah, and we both had our ups and downs on the overall picks, and but you did pretty good on your locks. You actually went 2-0 on your locks with the Browns and the Saints.
Oh, I showed my nuts on that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, both of them pretty solid wins too. Close spreads. Well, the Saints ended up just dominating them, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But overall for the week, I mean, I still have yet to see the Dolphins play, so yeah, it was a good week. I'm still waiting for the victory dance on Monday night.
What's our overalls looking like?
The locks, I went 0-2 with the Lions and Chiefs both not winning. Crazy week when that happens. Um,
Crazy.
Brown, you went 2-0, Brown Saints. My dog, I took a big dog in the Panthers. They kind of got stomped, and then you had the Eagles, and the Eagles also kind of got stomped.
Not kinda. Would you like to talk that game first?
Yeah, it is what is fresh in our minds right now.
Oh my gosh.
How did you
Did
feel
that
about the? I mean, you said it like, when am I ever going to be able to pick the Eagles as a dog?
Oh my gosh, brother, Dallas Cowboys is dangerous right now. I wish we could have got your dad on the phone after this one, because like I know every Cowboys fan is on 10 right now. Jerry Jones looks so happy watching this game in the box, just smiling evilly, and this this Eagles team just looked tired a little bit. It just looked like the Cowboys played great for sure, but the Eagles just made the Eagles just look exhausted. I feel like there are a lot of like really close plays that could have been inches. Like there was a touchdown to Devontae Smith that could have been a touchdown, but he was off by a couple inches. Motherfucking three turnovers. Devontae Smith fumbling in the fourth. Like this was just not an Eagles team you're used to seeing. And you would think that like they've been playing a lot of good teams, playing a lot of close games mentally that could drain you a little bit. But I think this Cowboys team is just something else right now.
And it goes through the passing game we see with the Dallas Cowboys right now. Dak has been playing. No one's been saying it. Everyone's been talking about first it was Tua, then it's Jalen Hurts, then it was Brock Purdy. But I think after this week, it's going to be kind of hard to not also mention Dak Prescott into the MVP conversations with the way this Cowboys team is rolling.
And you just hear him on the sideline. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. And the worst part is, no matter how, even if he wins MVP this season, I don't think my dad would still like the guy.
It's crazy. No, I feel like he might.
If they go to the promised land,
They can make it, but they haven't played the 49ers. But that's a whole nother
I know
story.
they did already. Remember the 49ers blew them out, but
Yeah,
since they've been blowing out all the teams.
I was about to say they can go to the promised land, but they got to see the 49ers. But this Cowboys team is nasty. I seen a stat before the game. They're averaging like 42 points per game in their last 5 games. The Dallas Cowboys is really here to stay. Was really here to play and stay. They're the number. We live in a world where the Dallas Cowboys is the number 2 team in probably all the NFL, and then motherfucking they probably have the best offense, most
And
explosive. Sure.
I can't wait for Week 16, Christmas Day, Cowboys versus Dolphins in Miami. that's gonna be a great like pre-playoff picture type of game. You know, the atmosphere's gonna be a little different.
But if it wasn't for the fact that like those tickets are probably crazy expensive, I would have said, Paul, let's like this shit's gonna be crazy.
And Parsons on his little podcast was talking. He said I was a Parsons fan. Then he said that he could be Tyreek Hill's QB, and was talking about how like, he was downplaying Tua. So the boys would be
Now it's
ready.
more. But yeah, I mean, hopefully the Eagles bounce back. I don't think they have too hard a schedule. This for the next, I think the next game is against the Seahawks, and then after that they probably have like the Rams and the Giants, and then maybe Washington, maybe. But I think they just no, I don't think they have Washington again. But I think they have some like a lighter end to their schedule after going through the motherfucking the fucking path of doom, the fucking region of doom of that they had to go through. So like hopefully the Eagles bounce back and they'll probably end with either third with the they might end with the third seed in like the third best record and be like the fifth seed in the playoffs. It's looking like because the Cowboys ain't nothing to fuck with right now.
Yeah, at this point, it's all mental for I think all these teams: 49ers, Cowboys, and Eagles. Like if this, well, as long as no one slips, this is where the standings will be. But if one of these teams slip up, it creates an opening for one of these other teams to get that first week bye come playoff time.
Yeah, I think yeah,
Because
that's
49ers got it, but if they take a loss along the way, then the Cowboys fuck it up like they always do, then it could be the Eagles to squeak their way back into the number one.
and the Lions low key would be in this mix if they weren't fucking up like they have in these last few weeks, which is a game we could talk next.
No, I mean shit, let's hop around because that was the other like kind of it was the line kind of stunk. We pointed it out. It was only 3 points. We were saying how it should have probably been nine, and we both against better judgment. We saw the flags, we saw all the clues, but we said fuck it, give us the lines anyway, and they got fucking trampled by the Bears, 28-13.
They got fucked up. Justin Fields and DJ Moore is becoming a more and more beautiful relationship. That's a good duo. What do they call it? The 1-2 punch.
Yeah, the one they're saying how the wide receivers are hurt, and they're like, is DJ Moore still playing? Yeah. All right. We're not worried. Like the fucking the receivers will be okay.
Nah, that's fire as fuck. But nah, I mean, that's what it is right now. The Bears looked great. Their defense looked great. Forced a few turnovers. I think it was like maybe two or three. But Jameer Gibbs, unstoppable. Shout out my dog. But yeah, this Bears team just came out ready to play. They came out beefing. I don't know what this win does for them in the long run of the season. Maybe it kind of negatively affects their draft picks and stuff like that. But they came out and fucked them up.
See, I don't want to say because I don't think this will happen, but the NFC's been kind of lackluster this year. Or right now, if you check in the playoffs, everyone that's sitting on the wild card, the last wild card team is 6-6, and then everyone else after that 6-7. There's like four teams 6-7. That's like one game out of it. The Bears are 5-8, so like if they string along a couple of wins, they could kind of see them sneak. They could sneak into the playoffs if the NFC continues to look the way it does.
Nah, for real. So wait, you saying the Bears are sneaking to the playoffs too?
They're just two. They're just 2 games out. Like they're just 2 games
Really?
out of it right now. Yeah, they're 5-8. And the next team ahead, and
Really?
there's like five teams ahead of them at 6-7.
Oh, you know I don't like checking standings. Like, I don't think that's something I ever really expressed on the podcast. I hate checking standings because it just makes you think about stuff that isn't gonna happen, but like it could. So this is one of those. I'm like, whoa.
Could be that storyline. Justin Fields back. Then see the other big game of the week on paper was the Bills and the Chiefs. Bills getting the win 20-17. There was an imaginary offsides that calls back a touchdown that probably could have won the game with the way it all ended up working out towards the end. Uh,
I've yet to see this. So of course, my stupid ass. I fell asleep at 4:45. I can tell because what I do now is I check the Bleacher Report notifications, and I see when did I stop seeing stuff happen in real time, and it was at the time of 4:45, and I can't remember what happened, but it was some funny shit. But so I'd have yet to see the offsides itself. I saw the play. Travis Kelsey, Hall of Fame player, made a Hall of Fame play. That play would have went down in history if it had fucking counted. But who was offsides?
They said the penalty it was Kadarius Toney. They said Kadarius Toney was offsides.
Damn, damn, that sounds like something he'd do too. Why
But
he ain't
a lot
checking
of people are
back?
saying it was imaginary. It wasn't really that he wasn't offside. I haven't looked at it too much, but the last thing I saw on Twitter was one of the like Ari something, like one of the other accounts saying like imaginary offsides that changes the course of the game.
Hey, Twitter, I got you. I'm gonna find if I mean America, the world. I'm gonna got you. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this before the end of the episode. But we gonna see that what happens.
But this game, I mean, Josh Allen throws a boneheaded interception. Patrick Mahomes enters the game first drive with an interception. The defenses, I think, were the defenses came to play. Like there was a couple good track and roll
Oh,
teams, but the defenses overall came to play. Oh, you found the play? You found the you see how dicey that is?
that's close. It's really close.
Ooh, there is a foot on that blue line.
That's close. And I'm looking at the ball and I'm just like, yeah, his helmet is where the ball is at, and his foot is in front of him. Oh,
That's what they teach over there at UF.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, everybody, Kadarius Toney was offsides. By it's like it was on some KD shit. Remember when KD he had the
Against the
foot
Bucks.
his big toe was on the line, so it was a two. Same thing with Kadarius Toney just now. His big toe was on the line.
A minute left. That's what I'm saying. Like the Bills, you don't know what would have happened with a minute left with the Bills, but like with everything going on, it looked like that would have been the game sealing touchdown, another Mahomes special, which we haven't seen much this year.
Yeah, and we all know it's not his fault, but they're trying. They're figuring it out. I think they just need a locking. That's all it is. Once usually they have these woes a little bit in the middle of the season, and they didn't have these problems. I don't think Mahomes was putting up like a crazy MVP season this year, but they don't. They usually have these. Usually these woes that they're having usually happens like week 7 to like 12, and then now this is when they lock in, and then they go into the playoffs looking like a fucking unit. But right now, the drops, the penalties, the plays, the missed opportunities, the close games lost, the random ass whoopings to the Broncos, like this is stuff that's happened a little later in the season than normal. So that's what my only fear with them.
And I will say with the Chiefs taking that loss, now it's really like a two-way race for the number one seed in the AFC between the Dolphins and the Ravens.
The Ravens almost didn't do it this week.
Hey, it's getting this is them weeks when the wins turn into losses.
I was about to say, what did we say? This was
A riveting week. That was my favorite one.
a riveting week. This was a newsworthy week.
Yeah, but a team you just brought up, we might as well knock out all the 4 o'clock games. Was a loss to the Broncos? Those shaky. You can't even call them fugazi no more. They just knocked off the Chargers 24-7. I know Herbert gets hurt, but even before Herbert getting hurt, the Broncos are running them down. The Broncos are playing old school football, and they keep getting these wins. Sean Payne's really turning. I feel like there's a few coaches that you could give the award to this year, and like Sean Payne is one of them with like turning around the Broncos.
I'm looking at this shit like, who was calling the Broncos from Gazing? I got real estate in Bronco County.
Yeah, I think it was it. We building beach houses right now.
Yeah, well, we get condos. We getting the permits approved for condos. What you mean? We got land
And
in Bronco County.
hey, and Russell Wilson's throwing Hail Marys. I don't know if you saw that the one-handed touchdown from Sutton.
I was, you know what it was? I was looking down. I remember I looked up and I heard a whoa, Portland Sutton. I was like, this motherfucker again,
But snagged it. That's arguably one of the better catches of the year. Gordon Sutton,
bro.
you said it last week. Like he is going under the radar, but like he's got the connection.
I was about to say, I've been saying is like they're doing spectacular shit every week.
And the Chargers, this is fine. Like Brandon Staley ain't gonna make it through the rest of this year. There's no way.
Oh, I think he finishes out the year because it looks good, especially since he was already just because he was already a new quarterback. Oh my gosh.
If he, they saying though Jim Harbaugh might get the job because Jim Harbaugh said out of all the young quarterbacks, the best one is who did they say that about?
Nigga said how ass are the Eagles.
I was I know what that meme comes out. They're talking about how bad somebody is.
Oh my
But
god.
could you imagine the Michigan if we get Jim Harbaugh, old 49ers coach, back into the league to take over the Chargers?
Oh, he's going for sure. Like that's not even a question. We just don't know if it's the Chargers 100%. But nah, he's definitely going back to the league because I heard. You know, we don't do. If we should start, we should really get into this college football stuff because, like, every time I hear about how messy college football is, I'm like, oh, really? Like, NFL is professional compared to college football nowadays. Like, it is so. Well, technically, that's exactly what it is. But like, college football has so much messy shit going on. They said Michigan, Jim Harbaugh, them niggas is not
This,
fucking with each other
they
right now.
started giving the players so much more freedoms, bro. Now, you can't smack a kid upside the head for doing some dumb shit no more. And now you got some chaos going on.
Bro, a nigga can, and I heard that niggas can leave teams, join the transfer portal, and play for another school that same like semester type, that
Yeah.
same season. Like that's crazy. Like niggas is treating this shit like NBA trade blocks. Like, bro, I'm out of here.
It's almost like it's getting closer and closer to like an AAU type show where it's like I feel like my coach ain't giving me the playing time I want. Like I'm going somewhere else. There's no more. Okay, I'm gonna work harder to get that playing time. Yeah, I
And I'm
mean,
not
there are still some, but
yeah, and I'm not pocket watching, but I thought there was when they did the NIL deal, there was like some type of regulation or something where like a student would be making more than like
nah.
two. Like, yeah, I'm thinking like they're probably gonna make like their tuition. So like they'll get their scholarship on top of tuition. So that means they'll be able to like that's where I'm thinking coming from a student's mindset. Nah, the niggas is getting bags, kid. I heard like the top person, well, I'm not trying to pocket watch, but the top person is like 4 million. But that's what I'm saying. All that to say, yeah, there's a good chance Jim Harbaugh is gonna be with the coach of the Chargers next season. And you could pin this.
And his favorite out of all his young, they asked him who's his favorite young quarterback prospect a while back, and he said out of all the Burrows, Herbert, Tua's, like all of them doing their thing, he said Herbert. So then now a few years later, that job spot's open. Why not?
Yeah, no, he's going to take it. And I feel like he's going to get that defense together, especially if they win the national championship this year.
So, hey, go out on top. Allegations, fuck them. I'm out.
I'm out. But yeah, but shout out the motherfucking Broncos. They're making my real estate in Bronco County look real good right now.
And so that clears out the 4 o'clocks. Let's get into these 1 o'clocks from the top. Falcons, Bucks, Kev. There's a new sheriff in town.
Dude, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for it to smell like bitch and hear memes. Niggas is better than me because I'm dropping those every time. But nah, this game was very heartbreaking. Literally the week after everybody starts talking about Young Ho's crew, his percentage, the top percentage in NFL history.
Take number one.
Motherfucker misses two back to back 50-yard field goals. One was 55, another one was 50, which is far. But like this is the same person that like if it's 58, I'm like, oh cool, no problem. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm gonna go warm some shit up real quick. I'm gonna go pour me up a joint. I know it's going in. Like that's why it's hurtful to see like two of them. And then the way we lost in the situation, I was just sitting there thinking like, we're down four. We just gave up a touchdown with like 31 seconds left, 16 seconds left. So crazy, crazy short amount of time. And I'm looking like, fuck. We're down by four, so we gotta score. Because I think if we were down by three or if we were down by two, like we're down within field goal range, we would have been able to tie that bitch up, no problem. I really think we could have, and we even drove it down to field goal range. But it was that 4 points, and we don't got the team to jog down and get a touchdown. We don't got Pat Mahomes and them like that. So it is what it is. It was a pretty heartbreaking game. I would say the Bucks played well, but they didn't. Their defense, their rushing defense, did great. They got a really good they got their first touchdown was set up by a really good interception that got I forget who it was. I want to say it was the safety 20 something. But their first touchdown was really set. It was set up well by a really good safety that timed the pass between Desmond Ritter and Bijan. He cut through it, and they got the ball at the 10. The fact that the niggas got a safety, we've given up safety in back-to-back weeks.
That's wild, dude, bro. That's wild. When that happened, I was like, there has to be a stat. I don't think there's been like how many teams have done that back to back weeks.
Yeah, that has to be less than five for sure. So that was pretty bad. So eh, I'm down, but I'm not out. Like I think my hopes are still up. So I would say the Bucks defense they played decently. Desmond Ritter has signs of greatness. Drake London made some really great snags. So yeah, I'm down about this game, but I don't really feel out about it. We beat the Bucks earlier in the season. They own the tiebreaker against us, but if we continue to play well in our division, we can end the division 5-1. Or
And the defense was playing phenomenal. Like Mike Evans was a no show this game.
oh yeah, never who?
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, it's like the fourth quarter, the Bucks all of a sudden they wanted to get into field goal range. They could any for whatever reason that was on the table now. Like it's a deep bomb to Chris Godwin out like a 50-yarder. He only threw for like 140 yards the whole game, but he throws a 50-yarder in the fourth quarter. It was like all of a sudden the Bucks offense could get it. I felt like that was like Baker. That's what he was known for in Oklahoma. That's why he was kind of exciting when the Browns first let him start as a rookie. Like he just could always do some wild shit that you can't predict. And this whole NFC South three-headed dogfight is kind of fun to watch unfold at a week. Like as the outside looking in, it's fun to watch. Like damn, like I don't know who's gonna win this. Like everyone's
Nah,
tied. The one team beat the other.
nah. From the inside, we don't know who the fuck is gonna win this shit. This shit is interesting. We wasn't expecting to lose at home to the Bucks. Nah, that wasn't in the plans. But I'm just feel for Artie Smith because we do have the easiest schedule in the league, and we should really be up at least two more wins than we have now. So like I don't know. The only way I think he keeps his job, we're talking about Brandon Staley, but I don't think the only way he keeps his job is if he makes it into the playoffs with this 3-headed dogfight. But we're not stacking the right wins. We just won two in a row. We could have won this one and went three in a row. That would have looked really, really fucking good. But we're not stacking the wins that we need to stack on this easy ass schedule. And like, it's not his fault. Like you see, he's kind of been building up this team from nothing, and I think he's done a great job. But we're not getting the W's.
No, Drake London, 172 yards on 10 catches. He had himself a fucking day. And I took his
Okay.
over. I think it was like 750 yards on the season. I took the over. Like this game, definitely. I think I don't know if I hit the over yet or if I'm like right on the cusp of hitting the over, but this game definitely secured the over because I thought I was gonna have to sweat it.
Mm.
Then our next game, Bengals Colts. Bengals 34, Colts 14. And Kev, you took the Colts. I took the Bengals. And the question is like, why the fuck did they not let Joe Burrow sit the start of the year? They had Jake Browning chilling on the sideline, able to throw these tutties.
No, literally the thing about him, and then I come to find out he's like the greatest quarterback in like California state history.
Yeah, the
The
fucking
guy has all the touchdowns. And like, I'm just thinking of all the great quarterbacks from out of California. Aaron Rodgers.
Montana, Stevie.
Yeah, like, yeah, Like I'm like, yo, you better broke all these motherfuckers records.
But that's like, I know Joe Burrow's a Ferrari, but like you still had a nice little a Porsche on the sideline just chilling.
Yeah, they're big tripping. I don't know. Maybe he didn't know the playbook or something. Because like he's 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 not him, but he's a guy.
What happens if like we see a Nick Foles, like Carson Wentz gets hurt that Nick Foles run, and we see Jake Browning come in here and put the sunglasses on and like takes over the team because they're rallying around him. Like he ran one in, he threw some. I mean, 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks in a row. He threw for like 85% completion percentage. He didn't have that this game, but he was like a 50 yarder to T Higgins, like dimes. He was putting them in the basket. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't look scared of the moment.
It's like they let him off the leash a little bit, and he like was like, "Oh, for real, I'm gonna show you what I can do."
And then Joe Mixon's actually getting cut up. He's been non-existent all year, and then now all of a sudden he's back.
Yeah, I don't know what team bonding moment that they had or did put something together, but that offense has figured it out. And we can't forget about their defense. They only gave up 14 points. Like the motherfuckers are playing their ass off too.
Yeah, because the leading rusher for the Colts was Zach Moss with 28 yards on like 13 carries. Like they're clogging the lanes. But I want to see how this because at least my Bengals bet to lead the division is still kind of. Oh no, I had the Ravens to win it, but I had the Bengals and Ravens top two, and Jake Browning could save my bet right now.
No, that shit's kind of a lot. I mean, it's tough with that Browns team. They look like they're getting sneaky dubs, but like she's definitely keeping it alive.
That's the next game we're gonna talk. The Browns beating the Jags 31-27. I was on the Jags, you was on the Browns, but like before we go into, I'm just state it up front. Where Joe Flacco looking better than Deshaun Watson has.
Bruh, I knew you were gonna say that when I was looking. I think it was after the first Joe Flacco touchdown. I was like, huh, Paul gonna come at this nigga Watson sideways because Flacco did look like a guy this day.
He had
He
a
threw a
little
pick.
zip on the ball still, man.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, he threw a pick, I think, but he did look pretty good this game.
He did throw one, but he didn't throw 300 over 300 yards and like three touchdowns. He's like,
Nah, that's crazy. I clicked on I was looking for the Flacco stats and I clicked on the Ravens versus Chargers. Ravens versus
oh,
Rams. But I
but I
didn't know
mean,
Trevor Lawrence was.
the run game didn't even do too much. Like they weren't really able to get the run game started. It was really like him able to walk, like dice up the defense of the Jags, which is a very good defense.
I mean, Joe Flacco 60 throwing the ball with Joe Flacco 45 times showed you like they believed in this run game. They respected it.
Yeah,
They believed in the passing game. They respected it. But the Jaguars, I was actually shocked Trevor Lawrence played. I wasn't expecting that. But motherfucker threw three interceptions. So like, did they need him?
they were showing him in the pregame because he was, bro. He took a crazy injury on Monday, talking about it was just a sprained ankle, and then he was in the warm ups running, like doing his little run in the warm ups and stuff. And people are like, he's gonna play. Like that was the headline. Like he's gonna play. What a like an amazing guy. Da, da, da. And people were in the comment section saying like, I could hit him with a steel chair under the knee, and he wouldn't even know it right now.
Yeah, I saw that video. You can see it in his face. He's like, ooh, every time he would stop.
But they gave him the shot, and he's like, bro, so he don't know what's going on. But he feel like Joe from Family Guy right now. But I mean, dog, he is a dog for going out there to play. I'll give him that much. Didn't look good, but he did go out there to play.
Respect. I mean, he didn't look terrible. He still threw three touchdowns. But like, it was just like, oh damn, I didn't expect to see you come in, and I'm like, oh, I mean, you're probably better than you at 65% is probably better than your backup. So like, I'm not tripping crazy.
And then our next game, this was one of the crazier games of the weekend. The Jets beating the shit out of the Texans, 30-6. Zach Wilson, second half, they unleashed him, and he ended the game with over 300 yards. He had two touchdowns, and I mean, Garrett Wilson had a day. The defense had a day. Completely like CJ Stroud had 91 fucking yards, like completely dominating the Texans offense.
which was insane.
They even put Davis Mills out there after CJ Stroud left the game.
Oh yeah, because of shoulder. I mean,
Yeah.
he had a tough day. At first, I thought it was just because it was raining. Because this game was 0-0 in the first half.
Yeah, I would say like no, this game was there's an uglier game coming up, but this game was ugly as fuck.
Yeah, like this game was definitely no offense. Rain was pouring, nothing was going on. And like you said, they just unleashed Zach Wilson. And CJ Stroud didn't ever caught back up. They what it says, they got 4 sacks on them. Like they're this defense turned up, Zach Wilson turned up, and now it's like, okay, we're back into talking about some Aaron Rodgers might be coming back to if we make it to the playoffs.
Bro, they got the same record as the Bears right now.
Yeah, but they said they're mathematically not out, so we're still alive.
Hey, I'll give it to them. There has been some crazy stories,
No, I've seen it. We've seen it so many times.
but I mean, yeah, Tim Boyle. He showed why Tim Boyle was on the fucking bench. Tim Boyle got the start.
Yes.
Looked fucking terrible. At least Zach Wilson could do that here or there. Then the overtime game of the weekend, Ravens beating the Rams 37-31, walk-off punt return touchdown in overtime. Maybe, not maybe, there definitely was a missed illegal block from the back, but who cares? We get the result we got. I mean, I know the Rams fans are probably pissed, but Lamar Jackson, he's another name that I think deserves to be in the MVP race right now as it gets closer and closer to the year closing up. What do you think?
Lamar? I mean, I just think there's too many people to choose from right now to be keep adding more people. I mean, he's playing well on a great team, but I think the defense is kind of a lot of the reasons why this team is staying consistent. But what's the season stats looking like?
Well, I know he has. Let me see. He has 2,900 passing yards, so he has basically 3,000 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But then if you look at his rushing, oh, I gotta see. His rushing stats on the year is six. He has 650 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns.
He's on the cuffs. He's on the cuffs.
Hey, but also the team's 10-3. They're tied with us at the number one spot, and the offense has been rolling. Like another team where, just like the Cowboys, they put up in their last like 5 games, like 35 plus points per game.
Okay. Okay.
But the Rams, on the other hand, Matthew Stafford, I know this is a loss, but Stafford threw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. The running back got 100 and something yards. Like the Rams offense, this is since the bye week, they've been looking great.
Yeah. I think I don't know what it is, but the Rams, but they turned up a little piece. Maybe it's the Cooper Cup. Maybe it's the play of Puka Nakua. Maybe it's Aaron Donald over here. Every time he gets a single coverage or breaking, or when he breaks through these fucking triple teams. Maybe it's one of those, but there's a lot of synergy right now with the Rams. Maybe it might be Sean McVay's coaching. There's a lot of synergy with the Rams. I think as a team, they're keeping each other up.
And then on to the next one. We only got a couple games left here. Oh, yeah, this is the last of the 1 o'clocks. Saints beating the Panthers 28-6. Uh,
Fuck them up. Fuck them up.
the defense, this 2 fumble recoveries, a touchdown on one of the fumble recoveries. It's never a good week when you see Jimmy Graham getting a touchdown for the Saints.
And he was so lit. Bro, first off, Jimmy Graham was a huge. There's the big bodies, then there's Jimmy Graham. He was a he was a huge human. Like,
He's a
bro, just,
unit, bro.
yeah, like, bro, is fucking huge. So he just running in his bitch, couching passes, looking like rebounds, the way he snatches them bitches out the motherfucker in the air. When he's doing that, that's when you know your defense is ain't got nothing. Your defense ain't got nothing for that. Just go ahead and close it up. I mean, CJ, they way they pressured Bryce Young. There were a few sacks that looked like where he didn't even have a chance, either slightly. And it was just like, That was them all game fucking them up.
So yeah, the someone made a good point on Pat McAfee show where they're saying how the big thing about Bryce was his size. Oh, he can't take the hits. He's not going to be able to last. And they're like, this season, yeah, he's not being productive, but like he can take them fucking hits. Like the offensive line is letting him die back there. Like the offensive line is not helping him, and he's getting destroyed. But yet he keeps getting right back up. Like he threw for 36 times. There should be no reason why Bryce Young's throwing 36 passes right now.
No, that shit is crazy facts.
But yeah, Derek Carr. Before we move on, Derek Carr played another quarterback. Where I don't know how the fuck he willed him. I mean, he didn't play well, 119 yards, but he played. They did not want Winston out there.
Mm.
And then our ugly game of the weekend, Kev. I didn't think anyone was going to score at some point. It was close. It came down to the fourth quarter, last minute. Vikings winning 3, Raiders 0. Fourth quarter field goal with a minute and 57 on the clock to take the lead. Only points of the game.
It's fucking insane that that shit happened in the NFL. Like, but that's what it is. Justin Jefferson leaves after coming back, playing his first game since week 5. Leaves with a chest injury, has to go to the hospital. There's just no luck for either of these teams.
What? Lowest scoring game in 16 years. Of course, it's the only lower scoring game was a 2-0 game.
Oh, that's crazy.
That probably don't ever happen back in like the 50s. But Josh Dobbs getting benched because the Vikings offense just looked atrocious out there. Nick Mullins comes in and he actually leads them down for the field goal to win it. Aiden O'Connell throwing an interception. Like this game, if you watched it all the way through, I give you kudos.
Yeah, you're crazy if you watch this all the way through. You did. I respect you to the fullest. A lot of defense. I mean, if you fuck with defense, this is the game to watch.
I just know somewhere out there in America, someone texted the group chat this morning and said Raiders Vikings over is a lock, and they is getting cooked. And then our final game, Kev, actually kind of feels, yeah, no, our final game of the slate, Kev, 49ers Seahawks, 49ers 28, Seahawks 16. Geno Smith did not play. We got the Drew Lock experience. And I mean, it was a ball at halftime. It's 10-14. It's a close game. And then the second half is when the 49ers, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brock Purdy, the defense came to really fuck up Drew Lock in the second half. But 49ers pulled away and never looked back.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was expecting the 49ers to have some struggle. I don't know why. I was really thought that this was just going to be a game where, like, the Pete Carroll and them have them a little figured out, but not. The 49ers just did what they do, and they continue to show how dominant they was. I was expecting, because you know how we fade the Gatorade. We fade after that dominant win, and they just were so hyped, and they were talking so much shit and doing so much. I expected Carmen to come back at them, but, like, no such thing.
You want to see something? Hear something crazy? Like
What?
the 49ers have like Madden stats on offense. Like so like in like real life, in real NFL, some players have like everyone has whatever you have all the stars on offense, but there'll still be like the fourth and fifth receiver that ends up with 50 yards that game or some shit. Like not everyone eats. Over here, bro, Brock Purdy, 370 yards, 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, 145 rushing yards. Deebo Samuel, 149 receiving yards. Brandon Ayuk, 126 receiving yards. George Kittle, 76 yards, touchdown.
Wow.
And then also the next guy, which is Christian McCaffrey, is 8 receiving yards. They literally fed Ayuk, Kittle, Deebo, and then gave the ball to Christian McCaffrey to get his 145. Like, that's just,
They are. Yeah, that's a pretty fun Madden game right there. That's exactly how you play Madden.
yeah, you're not throwing it to whoever the fuck like who. You see your number one receiver, someone you never heard of. You calling timeout? Like, hold on, why the fuck Deebo not on the field? Like what? I mean, stomp them boys out. 20. This is another team that's just locked in. Like this, these are the two. You said it a couple weeks ago. We find out who are the pretenders and who are the real teams. But now it's turning in. We're seeing who's locked in for the playoffs. Who's ready
And
for
they're,
the push.
and they're locked the fuck in.
I'm hoping we still got Monday night doubleheader, same time. Dolphins, Titans, Giants, Packers. I'm hoping that I see the Dolphins as locked in as some of these other teams this past Sunday.
I like fact. We gotta figure out who put those at the same time. Was there like a rescheduling or something? Like they
And
fucked that.
one's on ESPN and one's on ABC. So they're both owned by Disney. So like it's the same corporation. It's not like it's two competitors competing.
Oh, okay. Them boys is weird for that though, I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's gonna be a good one. They say that the Packers are 16-0 in December under Matt LaFleur. Let's see if that can continue.
Damn, I actually did not know that.
Yeah, I forgot about that because they used to bring that up all the time when Aaron Rodgers was there.
Well, Jair Alexander will be out for the Packers, so maybe
So Aaron Jones is questionable.
yeah, so maybe we'll get to see the another week of the Tommy DeVito train.
And Christian Watson is out too.
That would be the most Packers thing to happen. It's like you just came off of beating some of the hardest opponents in the NFL, and then you lose to the fucking Giants.
Crazy.
But thank y'all for watching. This has been another recap of the NFL Week 14. We'll catch y'all for the Week 15 picks and the Thursday night the Thursday night picks. I'm Paul Pickle Winham Concha. That's Kevin Waterboy Savoy. If y'all didn't know, well now y'all know, motherfuckers.
Mm.